Welcome to Hello Darlink. Today we watch in retrospect the interview with the iconic and legendary fashion icon and designer Ruth Tarvydas. As a tribute to Ruth, who I was privileged to call my friend, I wear the recreation of the famous white dress which gained international headlines. Ruth was full of life and full of projects. The sky was the limit before such a tragedy took her away from us. Unfortunately, Ruth lost her battle in May 2014, but left behind a unique legacy that stretches far beyond the world of fashion. Hello, darling. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here, Barbara, and thank you for having me.
Ruth, when did your passion for fashion started?
I think when I identified my ego.
Okay.
Or my ego identified me. I'm not sure how it works.
So you don't remember the day when you just thought, oh my goodness, this is OMG, this is what I want to do?
Well, look, as a kid, as a little girl, I used to dress my dolls, but I'm not quite sure how passionate that was. It was just playful. And I used to emulate my sister, her visions. So that was probably at the age of 5 or 6. But when the real passion occurred was probably as you arrive in your teenage years and you want to knock them out.
Yes. Well, and a very, very good age to be knocked out. Huh? You were the first Australian brand to export overseas, and in 1983, Selfridges in London.
Actually, we started in '79 exporting,
Wow.
and yes, we were the first to export around the world. It was fabulous. It was me and my brother, who together we started the boutique as teenagers. So, well, I was a teenager and he was a medical student, so it was pretty fantastic. And when we did start Barbara, it absolutely took the town by storm. It was amazing.
Incredible. How did it feel when Selfridges said yes and your collection was there?
Well, I thought that I was a superstar.
What do you mean you thought?
And then I suddenly realised this is a lot of hard effing work, you know. And it was fantastic. You know, they did T-shirts with my face on them. It was phenomenal. And also we held fashion parades. It was a personal appearance. It was advertised in the big Evening Standard papers over there as personal appearance by outrageous designer from Australia. Downstairs was JR from Dallas, so he was promoting his cowboy boots and hats.
Yes.
And there's Ruth Tarvydas upstairs on the level 1 promoting Tarvydas designs and having a fashion parade. It was pretty phenomenal. Then I think the buyer, Lady Lucas, actually said to me, wow, they actually sew in Australia. So that's what '79 was like. It was pretty phenomenal to be the first exporter to be recognised, and in a major way. They hardly really had that much of a celebrity. Australia didn't have that much of a celebrity appearance. It was myself and there was a racing car driver, Alan somebody, I can't remember his name, but we were both making headlines at the same time.
Incredible.
So there you go.
Yes.
Pretty fantastic.
Yes.
And yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
And you just came back from the New York Fashion Week.
Show, yeah.
Yes, how was it?
That was cool. It was fantastic. We had 2 beautiful Indigenous girls that we took over and had no idea that they were shaking like their little cheeks were shaking, as they actually said after the show. But they did a splendid job, and you'd never know that it was their first walk, you know.
But what a beautiful, beautiful service and contribution you did to these girls.
Yes, it was fantastic. And they're going back to their communities to speak about the event and to inspire the other girls to, you know, get out there and enjoy the world and enjoy your life, you know.
Absolutely, and it builds their confidence, self-confidence, and teaches them there is the wider, bigger world out there. Shows it to them.
Yeah, freaks them out a bit.
Fantastic. Now, the names of the celebrities that Ruth Tarvydas brand, you know, dressed and is dressing is endless. Please bring few names here.
Well, Rihanna and Kelly Rowland. We've had Kim Kardashian as our ambassador. She was our ambassador for our Sydney Fashion Week show, which was a few years ago. She was absolutely fantastic. And Emma Watson and quite a few.
And a special story, you know, are they horrible, are they wonderful,
well, Kim Kardashian was absolutely amazing. She was absolutely spectacular. She was very professional throughout the whole week. She was our ambassador, and the interesting thing is, one, she doesn't drink and she's just very business orientated. Every time she had the opportunity to mention the brand, she would be mentioning it. So it was fantastic. I was very impressed with her.
Very professional. And when you speak to her, you know, obviously.
And at that stage, even before social network was happening, she was creating it, you know. So she was tweeting, I think, or just started, tweeting just started, and Facebooking and websiting immediately. So while we were working in Australia with her, she already had the soap, you know, the weekly magazines printing the images in America, right throughout America.
So she's obviously
that professional. No, that's smart.
Yeah.
You know, I knew she was going to go a long way just by meeting her. You could see it, you know.
Wonderful. Now, just going a little bit back, in 2011 you lost your brother. In 2012 you had to evacuate Kingston due to the ruthless rains, and many fashion designers have to follow the same destiny. How do you bounce back? How do you find the strength again?
You have a vision. You have to have a vision. You've got to also have a spirit, you know. And I think it's not just me. I think it's a collective energy. There's been fantastic support and wonderful. I hate the word sympathy because that actually makes you cry. But when my brother died, it was inspiring how many people absolutely adored him. I'm taking his medicine much further I'm taking his medicine further because it so deserves it. And I get emails and phone calls from people all the time saying, you know, Ruth, do what you can to give us this treatment back again.
Beautiful.
So, because they're all, you know, suffering again, and he was able to look after them. So that's very inspiring, and of course it was very tragic at the same time. With regard to King Street, we had wonderful John Bond come to the rescue. We've had amazing people that have supported us. So to be honest with you, it's nearly like a wonderful experience, you know. I mean, it sounds like a loss, but at the same time, it was a huge gain.
Shows you the love that you
to experience the love that was surrounding me was phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Ruth, one of your collections is called Ruthless Ruth. How is the real Ruth?
She's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Look, if I have to be ruthless, I have to be ruthless, but I don't get off on that. I think sometimes I'm too Ruth, which is compassion, I believe, and in business you can't. Well, I don't know. You know, you got to be smart in business, and you got to be savvy when the economy is tight. Probably, look, it's a hard question. I think the real Ruth is just a survivor, and the real Ruth is somebody that loves to support people, and I think we've done that with the charities and many things over the years, and with staff over the years, and even with the tax department over the years.
Ruth, you make women feel powerful and sexy because you make them feel beautiful and look beautiful.
Hope so.
Would you ever consider designing a range for more mature women?
We do get beautiful, mature women coming into our gowns and wearing them, and they look fantastic in them. But I think what we are doing is more resort. We're going into the more beach wear, more floaty, and something that all shapes and sizes can feel very comfortable in. And I think the collection that we have just launched is actually quite in that space. It's a whole new space. It's quite bespoke, and you can actually, it's not slinky and body hugging.
Oh, wonderful.
If that's what you're getting at,
yes.
Barbara, my darling.
Well, it's again, like you say, every woman can be beautiful in every age. It's up to them to make it happen and to make them feel like this. Huh?
Absolutely. And even little kiddie stuff, baby. We're going to start making baby stuff as well. So that'll be little Tarvydas tots.
Now, how did you manage in 1971 to wow Richard Nixon and to have the amazing headlines? Tell us about the white dress.
Well, Barbara, that was very, very interesting because I was making this dress that had buckles down the sleeve, buckles right up to your ass, with big splits, you know, that the buckles were holding together. And everybody in Perth wanted that dress. It was so popular. I made it in '79. We made tops in every colour you can imagine. We made mini dresses in every colour you can imagine. We made, when the midi came in, we made it in every colour you can imagine.
Yes.
So it was not very expensive, and I just was so excited about the fact everybody wanted one. And even if we'd stopped manufacturing them, everybody demanded one. So
Wow.
where was I to go? As a teenager, what can one do? Anyway, suddenly, all over the screens, all over the magazines and all over the paper, there is Sonia McMahon in 1981
Yes.
wearing my design. So the inspiration for her version of my design, which was exactly the same as my design, but with diamond buckles instead of brass buckles, was quite bewildering. I was absolutely fascinated. So therefore, that moment I recognised the power of my design, and I thought, Sonia McMahon, my baby, you look hot. You are the first Lady Gaga ever on this planet.
Absolutely.
So that was phenomenal. It really was.
Phenomenal. But the phenomena doesn't stop because, you know,
Then
Rebecca Twigley, the famous
the famous red dress. I mean,
Made-
that was pretty hot. I won't say cool, say pretty hot. And it made her career. It really did.
And you know, your designs, apart from being so beautiful and so sexy, when I look at Sonia McMahon, when I Googled, you know,
Yeah.
I want this dress now. Honestly, they're beautiful. They
Put an order
completely
in, darling.
timeless.
You go into the store and put an order in. No, it is completely
Done.
timeless. And I think you have just activated an energy in me that is going to recreate it. And we will put it out there.
Thank you. This
So
is historical moment.
not in pink, but in black, in white.
Bring the little white dress
red.
back. Yes, the white dress.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I'm on the list, please. Huh?
Definitely.
Thank you. Now, in 2008, Curtin University was holding a retrospective in honor of Ruth Tarvydas' career.
Yeah.
And
That was so sweet of them. It was amazing, actually. It was fantastic. There's lots of lovely pictures in here. So with regard to the Curtin University, they did a phenomenal amount of research, and it's all displayed in this magazine. And it was an absolute honour, featured with the Sonia McMahon
Yes.
inspirational dress.
it's beautifully made brochure.
You know, Sonia McMahon
Yes.
actually made that dress again to wear to the Oscars with Julian McMahon.
And that was which
about
year? How
10
long
years
ago?
About
10
10
years ago.
Oh, 8 years ago or something like
Well,
that.
we need to bring
So
it
you
back.
can certainly say that that dress is timeless. So we are bringing it back.
Great, beautiful. The naked Ruth and the painting. You posed for the painting.
We haven't started yet. We posed for a concept of the painting.
Yes.
That was not quite naked, but it was getting there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And any plans or what's going to happen once the painting is ready? Where is it going to
It's
go?
going to the Archibald Prize, and look, I think it's a statement of art and freedom, and I think we should all have uncluttered minds. So it's going to be fun, even thinking about doing it.
So Ruth, you've done it all. And yet, it's
No.
just all the beginnings.
No,
That's
no
what I want to
way.
say.
My God, we're just starting.
That it sounds like you've done it all, but my sentence is, and it's all just the beginning. I know,
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
So what's next for Ruth?
Well, we have huge plans for Paris for next year, and then, of course, I thought maybe the moon.
The moon. How is Richard Branson
I
feeling
love
about
Richard
it?
Branson.
I'm sure he will love you or loves you, yes? So there is a trip to the moon. So big plans,
Big plans.
big energy.
Huge, absolutely.
Love from universe, yes?
Well, is there another word? I think the universe has got to explode, yes.
The first time I met Ruth was a friend of mine had called me to tell me that Ruth was looking for a store manager for her King Street store, and I was working at another job, and I was really quite intimidated to call her because obviously I knew who she was, and I bit the bullet one afternoon and I called her, and immediately there was like a familiarity between the two of us, and I don't know, from that point I came to meet her, and there was some sort of energy between us, and I took the job.
Her designs were so creative, they didn't look risque. I think she sort of made her designs to stand out, so a little bit like that. Then after a few years of modelling with her, she ended up opening King Street, and I ended up working a little bit in the retail store with her and a fit model. I got to wear some amazing one-off designs that were never really in the store. They were just like one-off that you'd wear down the runway, or I'd wear to a ball or a cocktail party.
There were three of us. Harvey, it was our brother. He was a little bit older than Ruthie, and I was 7 years older than Ruthie. So I went everywhere with them, on the buses, to school, everything. I was their babysitter. I was always protecting her, even when she was little. Her brother would say, our brother would say, "Oh, you got more ice cream than I did." And she would be handing it over to him. "No, don't you dare." "Don't you dare. He got just as much as you, he just ate it faster." And protected her from really her friends constantly using her clothing as well. Just a beautiful little thing she was.
She lost her brother, and that really broke her heart. I feel that he was her soulmate, and after losing him, she went on a search, a soul search, to find out what life meant. Harvey left her with, the last time she saw Harvey before he left for Sydney, before he passed away, he said to her, "Ruthie, just believe." And this sort of stayed with her, and she was on this search to find out what life meant.
Ruthie would have been just a little more than 15 when I returned from Europe, and she was already interested in fashion. And we both started working in a law firm, and she was just so clever. We worked there for quite a few years. Every lawyer in Perth had their offices in St George's Terrace, so they were just, she was the talk of St George's Terrace, with the little holes in her back, exquisite little dresses that Mum helped with. She had the ideas, she just cut them out. We just said, hold on, make sure you've got enough for seams. She always did have enough, but she was just so fast. Mum and I, had to slow her down to double check, but she was gorgeous.
I've got 40 of her gowns. Her designs are like no other. I've never actually seen, interesting, out there, flamboyant designs like how Ruth actually made them, yeah.
In the very early years, it was suits and beautiful things. Even coats, light, but even coats. Her designs were just so different. We were among the very first in minis. I followed her. And beautiful little dresses with holes in the back. No bras showing or anything like that.
What the industry, or how the industry saw her, or the image that was portrayed was a little bit different to the person that you meet.
Oh, she was amazing. She had that exterior image, the image that was quite strong and powerful, always in black. Black was what she said was her uniform. Black cap, black eyeliner, but she was like a cuddly teddy bear underneath. She's very eccentric, very fun, very over the top, but she had the biggest heart, I think the biggest heart out of, most people that I know. Yeah, she's amazing.
She was running up and down the big steel flights of stairways to the factories, and picking up her designs and checking to see if everything was okay.
Ruth taught me a really, really important lesson. So we would often go out to events, to balls, and I would drive her home. She liked to leave a little earlier than everybody else, and I used to take advantage of that and drive her home, and we would sit in the car outside her apartment and talk and discuss life and quantum physics and God and business and all the little things that came to both of our minds, and we'd laugh a lot.
The amazing times that I walked for her in big shows, and I think her shows were just like, big theatre, big pantomime, They're amazing. Amazing to be a part of such a creative talent, and yeah.
Most giving person I've ever known. Business never changed her. And business was hard. I worked with them for about, with Ruthie for about 3.5 years in that shop, right from the beginning.
She was a special place in my heart. Yeah, she taught me a lot of things. A lot of things also about the industry as well. Basically, I grew up with her, so yeah.
Something will happen in the day, or I'll see something that will remind me of her, so there'll be a fashion moment. I'll see a car that reminds me of her car, so she comes to mind a lot.
Ruth was just all about enjoying the moment. Life is short, enjoy the moment, live every day as you please, basically. You live it to the fullest. Yeah, I mean, when I'd work for her, I think I was just, more of myself. She was such a creative body that it was different to the normal people. She's exuberant. Like, she would squeal for joy like a little child, if she was really happy and excited, and she taught me not to be embarrassed about certain things like that, or yeah, she was very, very special.
She had had so many downs in business and pulled up over the years. We've had a lot of economical problems, and dresses are the first thing people will not buy when you've got to think about family.
The last time I saw her was in a social setting. And to be honest, she just seemed like Ruth.
The last day I saw her, I was cutting her hair, and we always had beautiful times together, and I coloured her hair. She said, "I'm coming more and more often to you. Should I give up with Hannah and have a proper hair dye?" I said, no, you're not grey enough for that yet. So, but she was sad at that time, and 2 weeks later, she was gone.
We'd finished up working in the King Street store, and I still occasionally text her to see how she's going, and we were going to catch up for drinks. She loved her Ruth juice, as they call it, at Java Juice, so she used to have apple, carrot, ginger, beetroot juice, and they put it on the board as her Ruth special. And I think I was going to grab my Java juice, and she was there at the same time, and we chit-chatted just for about 5 minutes, and I said, we're going to catch up the next week. And then a friend the next week rang me with the bad news, and then, yeah, it was devastating.
She had this beautiful warmth about her and really made you feel comfortable. She just had a lot of love for everybody.
She's left a lasting impression on my life, definitely, yeah.
She played at life and made things interesting.
I'm wearing the legendary white dead dress. My dream came true, and I was able to be the white lady today. Ruth, welcome. Are you happy with the design?
Darling, you look so much better than Sonia Milan.
Sorry.
You look so much better than Lady Gaga. You are the best in the world.
Thank you, guys. I think that's made my day. But I are still going to meet few people, and we're going to see an amazing, amazing stories being shared with us today. See you shortly. Ruth Darling, I want you to kiss violence against women goodbye now on camera and tell us again your view and your pledge.
Violence, get effed.
Okay. Please, can you pledge the kiss?
Thank you for watching Hello Darlink. We would like to thank our sponsor Thai Airways International for their support. If you have a story you would like to share with the rest of the world on Hello Darlink, please email info@hellodarlink.com.au. We will see you next time. Bye bye, darlings.